So, you've been asked to write a business plan as part of your next assignment. But what is the purpose of a business plan and why is it so essential? According to recent studies, more millennials, such as you guys in the room, are becoming entrepreneurial and launching their own startups. Yet, the same studies show that often some of these companies have never actually composed a business plan and only consider it if they require financing. So, let's discuss if business plans are still as crucial as they once were. To obtain backing from a potential investor or venture capitalist, a plan needs to be designed, one that has carefully considered the financial risks for all parties involved, this is the main purpose of your plan, to reassure your prospective financial backer. You may require a backer or a cash injection for numerous reasons. According to research, the most common reasons are to raise money for stock, to grow the company by buying up smaller competitors, for clearing debt, or for equity finance. Regardless of the motive, ensure your plan for your business is clear, credible, and goes into enough detail to entice an investor, while still showing that their capital is secure in your hands. Your research that has gone into the plan should provide sound answers and should show that you have made assessments and forecasts for the upcoming business year.
If we do not create the conditions for sustainable growth, we will be more exposed to rising energy costs, more dependent on finite fossil fuels, and more vulnerable to those resource risks. Instead, we have a chance to build a new kind of economy, a more balanced, more sustainable economy where climate stabilization and financial recovery are not mutually exclusive but mutually beneficial, delivering jobs, creating exports, and securing investment, tackling the deficit without sacrificing the environment, protecting us from the economic and environmental risks of runaway climate change, and all the while maintaining energy security in an increasingly volatile global market.
Among the many proposals concerning how to improve policing is the suggestion that the police might share the statistics they hold about where and when criminals have been caught. The idea is that by sharing the numbers, it will increase public confidence in the police. However, there's always the risk that sharing police data could have the opposite effect. Obviously, while the aim is to improve trust and inform the wider public of the good job being done, there is still at the same time a risk that it could also raise fears irrationally and make the public worry more, which the police are keen to avoid. Following a study on the impact of releasing crime data, researchers found that in fact the publication of the figures did not substantially increase fear among the wider public. Instead, it stimulated more trust in the work the police do. These findings may therefore justify using valuable financial resources to make this kind of information available in future, as long as it's part of a wider, effective policy for policing neighbourhoods.
How do the brains of bilingual babies differ from monolingual babies when they hear language? Well, neuroscientists recently revealed key differences by conducting research with babies that are growing up in a household with 2 languages and babies growing up with 1. They spoke both French and English to the babies to note their reactions and brain functions. The results showed that the brains of bilingual babies were able to process the sounds of both languages and react equally to both, whereas babies that grew up in a monolingual household could only react to 1 language and more slowly, and their brains showed no signs of response to
You may have seen in the news that a new material which is suitable for making safety clothing has recently been developed. The amazing thing about this material is that it shines light and doesn't simply reflect it, like other materials. Yet it is just as thin as the shirt I'm wearing right now. This is possible because the material is made with gold. The reason I'm talking about this today is because this material was created at our university by some of our colleagues.
We've known for a while that those with proficiency in playing a musical instrument exhibit superior brain plasticity. That is, their brain can change and adapt as a result of experience. However, we recently investigated the distinction specifically between drummers and non-musical people and found that their motor skills are far superior too. In observations made through brain scans, we were able to determine that their frontal part of the brain, responsible for motor planning, is quicker at processing information than in non-musicians, and that drummers are more efficient at certain things, like using both hands simultaneously.
Whether we are conducting research or listening to a news story, statistics are often used in order to provide evidence for the claim being made. Even with marketing, the use of statistics has an important role. For example, say you see an advertisement for a product that states that 75% of people agree that this is the best product they have used. What does this actually mean? It might sound like many people like this product. However, if we know that only 4 people were asked about the item, this would mean that only 3 people were in favour. This is a much smaller number than we might have initially thought.
There are actually 2 ways music can influence our actions and behaviour. Firstly, it can have a physical effect on us, so we end up coordinating whatever we're doing with what we hear, often without realising. A great example: people eat at a quicker pace when they're exposed to music with a faster beat. And the second way is through associations. So, the idea is music can provoke certain emotions, causing us to react in a certain way. For example, one study showed that in a restaurant with classical background music, people were inclined to spend more money compared to when no music was playing. A possible reason is that people connect classical music with a higher level of quality.
There have been several key developments in the forecasting of weather in recent years. However, the data we can gather on the Earth's atmosphere is always incomplete. The entire state of the atmosphere at any one time can never be fully known. The expectations of accurate weather predictions have always been higher than what can realistically be achieved. Having said that, the accuracy of predictions has improved in recent years for a number of reasons. Firstly, We have more sensors in the atmosphere and on land, which have increased the amount of data from which to make predictions. They have had very positive results. Another breakthrough has come from the more precise recording of features of weather systems that are more persistent. In other words, not the frequent changes that take place on a day-to-day basis, but over the long term. More powerful computers have allowed these long-term factors to be included and modeled. Because of the number of different factors that influence weather patterns, improved techniques for modeling the relationship between data and the subsequent weather will definitely help. So, although improvements have been made, a fully accurate weather forecast for a particular day won't be available anytime in the near future.
Governance at this corporation has been found to be severely lacking.
You will work as part of a team for this project.
Our objective is to determine how to maximize learner achievement.